secondary experiences for students with autism. Thank you for your time, and it was a pleasure to be here today. Are there any questions? John.
I think it's important to point out something that's maybe missing there for future research. You observed that low-income, minority, first-generation families are inherently disadvantaged because of this presumed lack of cultural and social capital. And you talked about the autistic students who were themselves disadvantaged navigating college because of their autistic traits of disability. But you did not mention the idea that autistic parents likely have the same traits of disability that you cited in the students. And so, for example, a multi-generation middle-class white male like me has a tremendous disadvantage, one I could never overcome, in organizing, sending a kid to college or going to college, because I cannot do those things, even though you would look at me and think on the face of it I would be easily able to. And I think that it makes me a little sad that the study completely overlooks a very real situation. Yeah, there are autistic parents like me who can't do those things to support our kids and send them to college, and who's going to help us? And I think that it's obvious that first-generation minorities and other groups need help. What about the autistic adults wanting to send their kids? That's the group that we should focus on the most in supporting autistic people.
That's a great suggestion. I think I hadn't thought of that, sadly, so I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. So for this sample, we were looking at people who successfully transitioned into college, so we could be missing out on that experience that you're talking about, and I think that would be a great area for future research for us to look at the parent experience for those who are on the autism spectrum and have children who are going into college. Thank you for that suggestion.
And we have a number of autistic students at William & Mary that would probably be very happy to give you a first-person student perspective in that research, too.
Wonderful.
And all their parents kind of have their shit together enough to get it. It would never happen for me.
That sounds fun. Thank you. I'll catch up with you on that one. Julie? Thank you for a really interesting talk. And we've seen a lot of these same things in our samples, although we haven't looked at them in a systematic way like you have, so I'm glad that you have. But this issue of developing independence while still providing the needed support, I think, is something that families struggle with during this age range, whether or not you have a kid with a disability or a son or daughter with an autism spectrum disorder. But these issues are really tricky and really challenging. The other thing that we've seen a lot, and I'm wondering if you got at this at all in your data, is students and families will work very hard to set up services and supports before their son or daughter goes to college. And then a lot of the time, at least what we're seeing, is those supports don't end up getting used or being taken advantage of for a lot of different reasons. I think some of them being that they just don't end up being very helpful, maybe the stigma associated with using some of those supports and services. Again, we haven't looked at this in a systematic way at all, but it's just something that we've been observing. We were just asking, is the student getting supports, and asking about this, and the answer to those questions ends up being much more nuanced than what we were expecting. And I'm wondering if that's something that you asked about at all in your study and what you've been seeing, in terms of students actually using the supports that have been put in place. Right. No, we didn't ask about that, but that's a really good point, because I have heard of other research data that shows that recently. And what I think happens is the parent is so involved in the process that it's almost like the students are let free. They're free birds at the college, and so then it becomes about initiating and following through the executive functioning piece of contacting or maintaining relationships with resources. One of the things that